At T-Mobile, our critical mission is providing unparalleled 5G coverage for when connectivity is mission critical. Introducing T-Priority, America's best 5G network experience for first responders, even in times of congestion. More capacity, faster speeds, better coverage. T-Priority from T-Mobile, built for tomorrow's emergencies, ready today. Discover more at t-priority.com.
For qualifying organizations on eligible rate plans, coverage not available in some areas and may be impacted by emergencies.
Every Pokemon Episode Ever podcast is now on YouTube. Go on YouTube and search Every Pokemon Episode Ever podcast and click that subscribe button to never miss an episode. Welcome back, everybody, to another fantastic episode of the Every Pokemon Episode Ever podcast, or EP for short. I am one of your hosts this week, Wrestling Chris G, and on the other line with me is the man that can't make up his mind. It's good old Dougie Fresh. Dougie, man, how you doing?
Well, you know, when they give you so many damn choices.
Well, funny story to that. AJ Lee, who people might know from wrestling as AJ, she was funny. After the United Center stuff, she posted a picture of the candy bar and was just like, "Well, I like this flavor. I forgot what flavor it was." She's like, "This flavor's okay, but what about this flavor? That's my favorite." And then and people were just screen grabbing that and just running with it. Like, "Oh, CM Punk, you couldn't even get your wife her favorite can or her favorite kind."
Oh, was in relation to the ice cream bars?
Yeah, she posted a picture of the ice cream bar saying, "These are good, but my favorite is so and so." I'll say like Rocky Road or something like that.
Mom was looking at that picture today. She's like, "What are you holding in your hand?" An ice cream bar.
So we did allude to it last week, so I guess we can spend 2-3 minutes talking about it. But I mean, for people that are listening to this a couple months down the line, but we just went to the return of CM Punk to professional wrestling this past Friday. We're recording this 2 days later on a Sunday night, a special Sunday recording, Doug.
Yeah, and people are going, "Well, no shit, he's the AEW champion now. We understand that. We know."
But we're also going to the All Out. It's so weird that we're gonna have a big turnaround in 2.5 weeks now, and we're gonna be live at the Now Center watching All Out. In a sold-out capacity again.
Yeah, I mean, did you see? I don't know if you saw. You probably do because you're kind of plugged into this stuff. After that episode of Rampage, might have even been during it.
They did a media scrum.
The secondary market on All Out tickets is dumb now.
Oh, dude, are you serious?
It's like almost $1,000.
Oh shit! No, I did not see that. Did you see? For people to get the I Was There CM Punk shirt is going for a minimum of $200 online right now.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. When I tell you, I was pissed. Like, because you were driving home. Well, I think we were still in the parking lot at that point. And you were on Pro Wrestling Tees, and you had it in your car, and you're like, I love CM Punk, but not $100 worth.
Yeah.
You probably should have done it because I think you were in like the one window of time where Pro Wrestling Tees was actually functioning. Because when I got home and got settled, I was like, all right, I'm just going to knock it out and just go to bed. I was on there for an hour. I gave up on Pro Wrestling Tees at a base level, and I switched over to Shop AEW, which is the same site, just, black and gold as opposed to, blue and white. And I could get as far as my cart, and then it was like,
oh, really?
I was like, ah. So that's the first thing I did when I got up in the morning. I went and I've got one ordered.
Oh, so is it the I was there or the regular?
No, just the regular. I know I was there.
Yeah, I know I was there too. And we actually have a friend that does artwork for T-shirts, and I took a screenshot of what the back of the shirt looks like, and I'm going to ask them if they can print it just like that. Like blow it up on the back of the shirt and like print it on there. And then that will be my I was there T-shirt.
Don't you go getting arrested now for copyright strikes.
I don't give a fuck. I ain't selling it. It's for my own personal use. So.
Somebody was in and we're going to get to the Pokemon show in a minute. Somebody was in because AEW shop put up a tweet about, CM Punk having merchandise in the store. Like as soon as he made the announcement. And everybody was like, I would buy 20 of them, but your site's down. Take my money, fix your site. And somebody was on like an Etsy or whatever. And they were basically selling a home brewed version of the shirt, and it immediately got a copyright strike.
Really?
And I'm
Holy
like, no shit. And I haven't been on like Pro Wrestling Tees to check because I really don't, I got my order in, so
you're good. But yeah, no, I'm definitely going to order it. I have no desire of getting it like right away. I will get it, and I'm probably going to have it before All Out, but we'll see. They Pro Wrestling Tees did put out that he broke the record for the most shirts sold in 24 hours on their website.
Well, unless they pick up the pace, mine's not on track to come until like the week after.
Holy shit. Really?
Yeah, because it's like 7 to 10 days to print, and then another, week or so to ship.
Oh,
and now the shipping might not come. The shipping might not be that bad considering I'm in Illinois, but
yeah.
I mean, if I was international, fucking forget about it. I'd barely have it by Halloween, but
yeah, this show's gonna be stupid. I'm really debating on going to the Dynamite recording because tickets are only like $15 a piece to go to that Dynamite. So I'm thinking of bringing my little man, but we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling and how he's acting.
Well, you did throw it out there as we were leaving. You said we got to get you to a Dynamite, and
I did.
If your son's got any kind of memory at all, that might come back and bite you.
I know. It already has. Trust me. That's the reason I'm bringing it up. So, all right, everybody. So a couple minutes into the podcast, 8 minutes to be exact. It is time to get into the Pokemon podcast. So we already did our little wrestling venture. If you're not a wrestling fan, I do apologize, but it's now time for Pokemon time. So how are you doing, Doug? How are you doing on your end?
I'm kind of tired.
A long weekend.
A long weekend, yeah. Mine wasn't as long as yours. But still, when you don't get home till midnight on, well, basically Saturday morning at that point, and then, you sleep till noon the following, and then you stayed in. Like, I skipped out on my cousin's birthday party because I didn't care.
That's honesty for you right there.
I was like, tell him I'm watching SummerSlam with the fellas. So I stayed home. I watched that. I ate peanut butter and jelly. I felt like a real 10-year-old. It was crazy. Except I had a beer with it, so it was kind of, whatever. And then, today was just kind of like, all right, I've got another wrestling show, and then you had mentioned that you wanted to do this tonight just to kind of keep building up that black and white backlog.
Yes.
And then you possibly mentioned returning back to season 2, possibly for Tuesday.
Yes.
So
a lot of recording for all of you fans.
Yeah, I was getting kind of in that headspace, and I was actually watching these episodes during the wrestling show.
Oh, really?
Which is doable. 'Cause,
I was wondering how doable that is.
well, I did pause it during certain matches. But like the first match, while it was good, I was like, okay, this is kind of an obvious result. So I was watching the first episode, and then it got to a point in the second episode where I'm like, okay, I want to pay attention to this. And then that coincided with another match that I really wanted to pay attention to. So I paused Pokemon and watched the match. And yeah, so I mean, it's multitasking, and then I got my dates out of the way. So I'm in a good headspace, I think. I hope.
That's good. Well, that's good. Today's episode is episode, 5 of season 14, episode 664 to be exact in the Pokemon timeline. Today's episode is called Triple Leaders Team Threats, or translated from Japanese, Sanyo Jim versus Baoppu, Hiyappu, and Yanappu. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this episode premiered in Japan on October 14th, 2010. And here in the States premiered on March 5th of 2011. And I'm already fucking seeing, I went with the October date by accident. Son of a bitch. That's why you didn't see. That's why you didn't see my first one. Son of a bitch.
Oh,
all
no.
Right. Well, just so we don't lose time, this week, and I can probably, as we're doing the show, correct it for next week, but I'm going to do the Japanese date, everybody, and Dougie Fresh is going to do the American date. So I'm going with October. Actually, I'm all sorts of fucked up. Okay, I did February 14th. Okay, I'm all sorts of fucked up. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Doug, you're gonna be the solo man this week on dates, because I don't know what I was thinking, but I have February 14th up here. October 14th was the date, and March 5th is the U.S. date. So I didn't even have the date at all. But if people want to laugh, on February 14th was the original Dracula film starring Bela Lugosi as the titular vampire, is what they posted on here. So that was going to be mine from 1931, but it holds no water because it has nothing to do with today's date. So I'm going to switch it on over to you, Doug. And as you're doing this, I will be listening, but I will be looking something up for the March 12th for next week.
Could you imagine going to that as like a Valentine's date?
Yeah, I could.
And just sitting there and going, all right, I'm going to get her scared, and then she's going to hold me, and it's going to be fun because I don't get scared, and then you get scared, and then you're like, oh shit, the whole thing went to, because it's 1931, movies aren't that
advanced,
right, to the point where it's like, okay, we know what to expect. So like Dracula comes on screen and he's like, there, you're like, oh my god, I just shit my pants.
Yes.
And that's not romantic.
No, not at all.
So on this date, March 5th in 2019, Kylie Jenner.
Okay.
They all fucking...
They're all alike.
They all blend together. Kylie Jenner is officially recognized as a billionaire, that's with a B, at the age of 21, according to Forbes magazine.
Yeah, she made dumb money.
So I'm sitting here going, what the fuck does she have that I don't have?
A lot.
And the answer is tits, ass, and a famous family.
I was about to say, I was like, she has a lot of things, Doug, that you don't have. A lot of things. I think she's pregnant again, to be honest.
Yeah, she might be.
I think so. It's that or the other sister, but I'm pretty sure it's her. But all right. Well, thank you for that, Doug. I do sit down and watch a good little Keeping Up with the Kardashians. If I have absolutely jack shit to watch, I'll turn on E, and they'll have a marathon going on at some point at like 11 or 12 in the afternoon. So
be honest with me. When is the last time in the age of everybody and their mother having a streaming service that you haven't had jack shit to watch?
It happens quite often, if I'm not lying to you. During this whole pandemic and me being home for an entire year, you kind of run out of stuff to watch. I'm currently watching some show called The Girlfriend Experience with my wife. We also just got into a show called Blind Spotting, which is a funny show. I can do without the poems in the middle of the episode, but we're watching that. And I'm also watching, I just finished the second episode of Heels this week as it premiered. So,
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I forgot about it. I didn't forget about it, but.
Yeah, me and my wife sat down early this afternoon and watched Heels. So
wait, this afternoon?
Yeah, the episode must have come out yesterday.
Oh.
So I believe, because they when I went on the thing, it was right on there. It was right on the Stars app.
Maybe it drops on the app early.
Maybe that's a possibility, because we watched it early this afternoon. It was definitely the second episode, so you're gonna like it, and they flush out the characters a little bit more too.
Oh, so. Good.
Yes. When was your date, Doug? For
2019.
2019. Well, just to put a cap on it, yeah, I'm gonna go second, but mine did happen before yours. On this date of March 5th in 2002, the American reality TV program The Osbournes premiered on MTV. Doug.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, "That's his date."
Sharon! Oh, dude, I used to love that show.
That was the first, or if it wasn't the first, it's one of the first like reality shows.
Yeah, for celebrities. So yeah, if I mean, I'm sure there's more, but that was kind of the big one. For celebrities. So
because it's like, oh, we get to see what they're like in there, and it turns out Ozzy's just kind of walking around the house screaming, and the kids are crazy, and yes. I think one of the episodes, I think they like gotten like a food fight type deal with their neighbors.
Yeah, like just stupid things to do when you're rich.
Yeah, well, and that's absolutely it.
So, all right, you ready to get on into this week's episode, Doug?
Definitely. All
right. Again, everybody, this is episode 5 of season 14, episode 664, Triple Leaders Team Threats is what we are reviewing today. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump on into this week's episode. I'm sorry for people that are hearing me clear my throat a lot. It's a little late. We didn't cook, and we ordered pizza out, so I have some cheese in the back of my throat. So hopefully I'm not doing that this whole entire podcast. Sorry for disgusting any of you out there.
He just housed half a pizza before we hit the record button.
Low key, I actually did. Because my wife actually bought me my own pizza and then brought it down to me prior to recording. And I was like, all right, bet, let's go. I was like, I don't have my dates yet, even though I was looking up the wrong date. I blame her.
No, you can't blame her.
She stopped me and distracted me with pizza.
That's bullshit.
It made me look up the wrong day. Yeah, it is bullshit.
That's bullshit.
So, all right, everybody, let's jump on in. So we immediately start this week's episode with Ash running. No Iris at all to be seen. I mean, it looks like Ash kind of dusted her. And he sees Striaton City, and he yells out. I think this is the soonest that we've got the damn theme song. Holy shit.
This season, yes, absolutely.
He runs up out of the forest, sees Striaton City, yells out, it's time to go and get my next gym badge, continues to run, and we're directly into the theme song.
Yeah, I mean, they throw you right into it. Like, on my counter, I paused it, like, right after they got out of the theme song, and it's at 59 seconds. So, like, they were like, oh, there's no messing around. And, I mean, as we get into the episode, we'll see why, because they don't really fuck around this episode at all.
Well, they don't fuck around this episode or next week's episode, because next week's episode is a key point in the series as well.
They basically could have made this 40 minutes and just had it be one episode.
Yeah, they could have. If Pokemon did specials like that, they definitely could have.
Yeah.
So, let's see. All right. So after the theme song, we are introduced to Striaton City. It looks like a nice hometown. It kind of looks like Chicago, Illinois, a little bit. Like pretty busy out on the streets. A bunch of tall apartment homes that look really nice, a bunch of high-end stores that are all around, and then there's a bunch of people with their Pokemon outside of their Pokeball. I did notice that. Did you notice that, Doug?
Yeah, and I don't understand because, you know, we're still at a point where we're doing, you know, season 2, and that's, you know, Pikachu's kind of the exception to the norm in terms of Pokemon being in Pokeballs, but you know, here it's just kind of like, oh, it's like take our Pokemon out for a walk, and I mean, it becomes a major point in
next week's
episode. So a little bit of foreshadowing for sure.
Yes. So Ash is then introduced into the scene, and he's looking around. He's like, I'm so excited. It's getting ready to be time to go and get my next gym badge. And then Iris pokes her head into the film and goes, so where's the gym, Ash? And Ash is kind of like looking around, and he's like, I'm not sure. And she's like, of course you're not sure. Such a kid.
Hate it. Hate it. It's like nails on a goddamn chalkboard at this point, and we're only 5 episodes into this season.
That is her line. Like, I know I said last week that I was gonna look up how old Iris is, and I'm gonna look that up right now. How old is Iris in Pokemon? Oh, there we go.
There's no way she's older than Ash.
She's 12.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Then Ash is 14 now.
So she's 12. Ash is still being portrayed as if he is 10. So yeah, she's a preteen. So her calling Ash a kid kind of does make sense. She's
typical just older kid behavior. Oh, you're such a kid, bro. You're 1 month older than me.
Exactly. So yeah, they said she's 12. She doesn't look 12.
No.
But yeah, she puts her arms up and she's like typical kid, ready to go somewhere, but doesn't know where he's going. And
shouldn't he just be able to pull out his Pokédex and say Striaton City Gym and get the fucking GPS?
I mean, from season 1 of Pokemon, we had Zoom and Skype already. So, I mean, at this point, yeah, you would think so. But at this point, Ash doesn't think of that. But what gets attracted to him is a city passerby buyer sees Pikachu and walks over to him and wants to see his Pikachu because, again, Pikachu is rare in the Unova region. So, Doug, how about you take this next part right here?
So he picks him up and, is saying, oh, it's so rare to see a Pikachu in the Unova region. How are you today? And Pikachu's kind of like embarrassed and kind of waving at him. And I noticed he didn't get shocked.
No, he didn't. Pikachu got good vibes from this guy.
I don't know why.
Really?
Kind of a weirdo.
I mean, a little bit, but it's kind of foreshadowing a little bit. But
yeah, you're right.
But yeah, he picked up Pikachu, tugged at his cheeks. Pikachu was like, I'm not liking this at all. Why do people like pinching my damn cheeks? Don't they know
it's his own fault for not being in a Pokeball. I'll keep saying it until somebody shuts me up.
Pikachu needs to get into that damn Pokeball, but it'll never happen. Why does Pikachu hate being in the Pokeball? I mean, maybe it's just like seeing the sights. I don't know.
Claustrophobic.
Maybe. But it's at this point Ash is giving back Pikachu, and Ash is like, do you know where the Striaton City gym is? I'm looking to go and fight the gym leader over there. And it's at that point that the guy is like, yeah, I know exactly where that is. Here, follow me back there right now. And then they walk, and it seems like they walk to a big, huge museum-looking like building, and it's the city's gym. Doug?
And it's got the little Pokemon insignia, like above. Pardon me, trying to stop that. It's one of those things where it's like, if I keep talking, maybe I'll. But it didn't work. Yeah, it's got the little Pokemon insignia above the entrance, which I guess would be an identifier, unless it like actually says, gym somewhere, but I didn't see it say, Striaton City Gym.
No.
And I think before we walk into the gym, it's important to identify this fella as a Pokemon connoisseur, is what he calls himself.
Yes, and Ash is wondering what a connoisseur is.
Which, of course, leads Iris to say, oh, it's typical kid.
But she doesn't even know.
Well, right. And then something's also said about Pokemon connoisseurs are kind of specific to the Unova region. So somebody from Kanto, like Ash, wouldn't really know anyway, although one could argue, what of the internet, so. But yeah, so they walk into this building, and Ash is like guns blazing, ready to battle, and he busts in, and it's like a restaurant.
Yeah, he's like, I'm ready to battle. Open door. And then he's staring at all these people who we've come to find out. I kind of feel like these people are just like flocks, and they just hang out here all the time. But yeah, we see a bunch of females inside of this restaurant. It looks like they're either finishing up their meal or just chit-chatting. And then these two waiters run over to him and say that they can help him over to his seat. And they take Ash and Iris over to their seat, and they're sitting there asking them, what can we get you to eat? Do you want some water?
Have a look at our lunch menu.
Yeah. Have a look at our lunch menu. It's at a reasonable price if the prices of everything else is too steep for you. And Ash finally just gets fed up, and he just stands up and he's like, I want to battle the gym leader. Just throwing a fit like a little 10-year-old, which throws the gym leaders. I'm at a screen freeze right now where he's like yelling up, and the gym leader, well, foreshadowing, the waiters are stunned that he's yelling inside of the restaurant. And at that point, all the women that were inside of the restaurant gather together. Another gym battle?
Oh, we're lucky today.
Yeah, we're lucky. We get 2 gym battles in one day, which means someone has already been here. So I'm guessing Trip has already been here.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yes.
That's good. I didn't even think of that.
So, Doug, you want to get this next part?
Yeah. So like you said, the girls are kind of huddled together, and we get individual spotlights, and we find out that the Pokemon connoisseur is 1/3 of the gym leaders in this gym, and we find out that the wait staff are also gym leaders and that they are triplets.
Yes.
And we have kind of a Misty's sisters situation, although I don't believe Misty's sisters were triplets.
No, well, I don't think that they were triplets, but they're definitely very close in age from what it looked like to
Yeah,
me.
right.
And Misty was just the oddball that, oh, I'm pregnant again, sibling. She was the mistake from what it seemed like. Well, she's so much younger than the
ladies
rest
and
of
gentlemen, this is the last episode of every Pokemon episode. We didn't quite make it to the end.
Well, I mean, come on. Misty is so much younger than her other siblings inside of that gym.
That's the I thought you were fixed, child. I thought you were fixed.
Well, shit. But yeah, after all of them give their nice little introductions, a door opens behind one of the walls, and we see a big old gym.
Battle area, yeah.
Yeah, battle area. There you go. And Ash is like, oh, this is pretty neat. That's cool. And he walks in and he's just looking around and he's like, well, all right. And the gym leaders are like, well, we have 3 different Pokemon and you get to choose which one of us you want to battle. And it's at this point that the gym leaders all take out their Pokemon, and I have all of their names written down right here. So we have,
and I wanted some clarification. So I mean, go through them, and then I need to ask clarification because I figure you would be a little bit more up than I am.
Okay, no problem. So we start with the water, and water Pokemon is Panpour or Pampor.
Pampor, yeah.
Yeah, Pampor. Pampour. And that is a water type monkey Pokemon, is what they kind of elaborated in this episode. And then let's see, give me 1 second. So who was the second one? And then we have the grass type Pansage,
Sage. Pansage.
Pansage. Okay, Pansage, who is the grass type Pokemon. And then we go to the fire type Pokemon, who is Pansear.
Pansear, yeah.
So, what's your question, Doug?
So,
who is the fire type Pokemon, everyone?
Is this Eevee?
Not really, no, because each of the Pokemon that already come out already have its type. So Eevee starts off as a normal type dog Pokemon who can evolve into different types of Pokemon depending on what stones or what time of the day or anything like that.
So these are just, I mean, are there more versions of Pans? Like,
as of right now, no. So
okay.
these are the only 3, and then they each evolve once.
Okay, they do evolve. Okay.
Yes, they evolve at least as of right now in the Pokemon. I'm sure come like another season or 2 that they'll evolve into something else and have a 3rd stage. But these each evolve once. And the grass type evolves into a Simisage. The fire type evolves into a Semisear. And a the water type evolves into, yeah, you guessed it, a semi-pore.
Semi-pore.
Yes.
So they
they just changed the first part of the name.
I was gonna say they really racked their brains on these names. Okay, yeah, no, because I had to figure that they evolved, and I didn't really do because I was more focused on getting these episodes watched and then making sure I understood them and then getting dates. I mean, I could have done a quick Google and probably gotten redirected to each of them each time, but I figured I'd ask you because you're a little bit more plugged in with the more current stuff.
Gotcha.
But I was like, I mean, obviously I get the gimmick because I mean, obviously the kid with the red hair has the fire type, the green is the leaf, and the blue is the water. It's like the Eevee brothers.
Yeah, it's like the Eevee brothers, but it's just these Pokemon, unless they come out with something beforehand, where they have a baby form, and then they can evolve into one of the three fire, water, or grass type later on. I mean, I think I'm giving the Pokemon Company an idea.
I was gonna say if they do, they owe you royalties at this point.
So I think that might be a thing. They can go anywhere with these. So you can start off as a regular, normal type monkey Pokemon, evolve into one of these three, and then have another stage after the semi stage.
Right.
So,
Are stones still a thing in Black and White?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they actually have a zone specific to the Unova region, which is, what is it called? I think it's called the Unova Stone. The Unova Stone, a rare stone that originates from the Unova region that can make certain species of Pokemon evolve. It is known for its intertwined black and white appearance.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay. See, this is why I ask questions.
Exactly. So Ash at this point gets presented. So which one of these three would you like to battle? And Ash is fucking dumb. I mean, dumb and just dumb. Like this
pig-headed and just stubborn and just this episode could have been 10 minutes long.
Yes, I mean literally it could have. But he's just dumb. He's like, you know what? I want to fight all three of you. And the gym leaders are like, well, we've never had someone say that they wanted to fight all three of us. So I guess we can come up with a new rule on the spot and say the best 2 out of 3 falls wins.
So Ash not only made it harder for himself, but he just made it harder for every other trainer that comes through this gym now.
Yes.
Fuck him.
Well, hopefully they don't stick with that rule going forward for other gym leaders, and this was a one-time deal. I
mean, or if it is an option, like, hey, you can just beat one of us and get the badge, or you can run the gauntlet on us, and there's like a cash prize or something.
Yes.
But yeah, kind of fuck him, just because he's a hero in an action show.
So we start off with the Fire Brother. He throws in Panseer.
I think it's in our best interest to at least name check these brothers once. So okay. The fire trainer is named Chili because you get it because funny. So Chili is out first with Panseer.
Yes. And Ash is just dumb. Like that. I don't get his strategy. I mean, I know he told his Pokemon certain things, but technically this is all still one battle. But he told Tepig apparently off screen that Tepig can fight the very first time, the very first battle that he has inside of a gym.
And I'm glad you said off screen because I was sitting there for a minute, and I think this is during a pause point so I could watch whatever wrestling match was on. I'm sitting there, and in the back of my mind, I'm going, did he say something when he caught him that I just don't remember?
No.
And I didn't think I did.
Not at all. So it's at this point that he throws out to Pig. Yeah, and then Iris is like, she's like, that's kind of a bold move. And then even Chili even sits there and goes, that's a pretty bold move fighting my Pansear with a fire type Pokemon. But you know what? I'm always down for a challenge, so let's go.
And just kind of speeding through to get kind of caught up to where we were, I noticed the women in the balcony, and it's at this point, I think we should point out that the women that were sitting at the tables when Ash walked in have become cheerleaders for the gym leaders.
Yes, they are big fans. It doesn't look like they're a part of the gym, but it just looks like these are 7 or 8 girls that just love these brothers, and that they just come in and they cheer for them whenever they can.
I'm concerned that they had the outfits ready.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened before in the last gym battle. But they're like, oh, we forgot our outfits, and they ran back to go get them, and they're ready for this one. That's why, you see, Doug, that's why they were saying that they're lucky, because they didn't waste the trip back over to the house to get the cheerleader. You see?
I see. I got you.
So Ash starts this battle off with a tackle attack, which lands like heavily on Pansear and just throws Pansear just back. Just like if he were to like hit a human with this, it would like knock the air right out of you.
Yeah, it would knock you off your feet probably.
Yeah. But Pansear does land on his feet after that tackle.
And Ash and Tepig are kind of stunned because it seemed like Tepig put a lot into that tackle.
Yes. So.
And then Pansear's first attack of the battle is Fire Punch.
And it's a strong-ass power punch.
Yeah, it is.
Fire punch. And just lands clean.
Knocks Tepig all the way back to the podium where Ash and Pikachu are standing.
And unlike Pansear, Tepig was laid out on the ground as soon as he got hit with that and had to get back up to his feet.
And, I think you kind of got to take a step back and realize that Tepig probably isn't as strong as it could be because, of the circumstances that we talked about last week. And, Yeah, it couldn't have been that long ago that he caught Tepig. So it had to have been probably just like the night before or maybe 2 days prior getting out of that forest. And, I guess you could say, well, maybe they stopped at a Pokemon Center in the interim and maybe, Tepig got rested up. But we can't assume that.
No, we cannot. So, all right. It's at this point that we get, what is that, a flamethrower?
Yes.
Okay. And Pansear tells Ash that he's going to go ahead and use another attack because Tepig took too long to get to his feet. And he goes and he says, flamethrower. And Pansear just does the flamethrower. And let's see.
Ash counters with Ember from Tepig.
Which is not effective.
Yeah, no, the flamethrower completely outpowers the Ember. Yes. And knocks Tepig on his butt again. And then Pansear jumps back and Chili says dig. And Pansear goes completely underground.
Yes, and it's at this point Tepig is he seems like he's fairly trained, but Tepig is still kind of new to all of this battling and does not look around properly because he just gets knocked flat on his ass again by Dig because frickin' Pansear comes up and just fully uppercuts from right underneath Tepig from the Dig attack.
Yeah, and for the third time in this short battle to this point, Tepig is flat on the ground.
Yes.
So Pig is not having a good go at things.
No. And this was Chili's downfall because, of course, not knowing Ash, when Ash is in the middle of a battle, he learns by the way that the trainer does their attacks. And Chili sits here and tells Panseer to do dig again.
Yes.
And it's at this point that Ash caught on to it and tells Tepig, get on underground and go and get that Panseer. And he goes underground, and it's at this point that we don't see Panseer come back up like he did before until it seems like he crawled up under one of his other holes that he had previously made, and he's just screaming because Tepig is biting his tail.
Yeah, and they both come shooting out of the hole, and like you said, Tepig has a vice grip on Panseer's tail and just is not letting go. And you can see in his eyes that he's focused, and the spinning doesn't disorient him. And Panseer's kind of on its back foot because it's probably not used to this.
Yeah.
And why would you be, quite frankly?
Yeah, and it's funny because when he comes out, he does gain control, like you said, and he goes and does a flipping like
a mini seismic toss, basically.
Yeah, like a mini seismic toss with Tepig on his tail and just whips Tepig on the ground, but Tepig doesn't get his grip off of him, I guess you can say. And Tepig gets right up from Ash's command to get up, and Tepig still has the tail, and at this point, Tepig just starts swinging the mess out of Panseer.
He does a Tepig swing, as it would be, and just bounces Panseer, and as Tepig is down, as Panseer is down, Ash tells Tepig to use Ember, and then tackle. Because Panseer didn't have time to kind of get his bearings. So, and this tackle completely knocks Panseer, and I guess by extension Tepig, completely into the wall.
Yes. And it's at this point that Ash, he specifically learned how Chili was battling. So that was kind of Chili's downfall there.
So
because he became predictable.
Well, absolutely, and obviously we have the benefit of being being at Ash's point of view with these things. So we know this about Ash, but you're a trainer, and you're like, okay, I've gotten to a point where I can kind of follow a script with my battles. And as long as nobody, throws a wrench in my plan, I'm probably going to be pretty successful. Yes. But, that's the thing about Ash. He's got this weird kind of determination about him where he's going to get punched in the face 9 times, but as long as he keeps getting up, he's going to hit you with one good shot, and you're going to be like, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah, that's one thing about Ash. I mean, I'm guessing that's what makes him champion in a couple seasons.
Spoilers.
Down the line. Oh, we've talked about this many times. But yeah, I'm guessing because I still haven't seen that episode. So I'm looking forward to getting up to that episode. So, all right, and we go straight from that to Chili congratulating Ash. So in reality, everybody, and this is what I want to point out.
Yes.
They made it a clear point to say, basically, if Ash were to just have fought one of these gym leaders, and if it was Chili, he would have his gym badge right now. Right.
He could be putting Tepig back in his Pokeball. He could be dusting himself back off. He could be walking over getting a badge. He could be
And it's
collecting
still
iris.
nice outside. He could have went and got some food, found a Pokemon Center to heal and just relax for a little bit. I mean, it could have been a lot, but
Could have planned his trip to the next town, but
Exactly.
no.
So it's straight from here that we get the Who's That Pokemon, and it's Pansage this week. Are you doing backflips again, Doug?
I am. I'm very happy. Unfortunately, the backflip stopped next week. Well,
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, next week it because we get the premiere of a Pokemon, and then it gets introduced like 2-3 minutes later.
So I'll give it a pass. I mean, I was let me say I was trepidatious because it hadn't been introduced by the time they did it.
Yes, and
But,
you're like, oh, what the hell?
And then I was like, hey, but yeah, we get the next battle, and it's with the Pampor, and his trainer is Crest.
Yes, Crest, but we're not fully there yet. This next part of the scene is Team Rocket, and it looks like it's like summertime outside, and these guys are in like the hottest of hottest gear in complete black.
God Lord, I'm sweating just looking at them.
And they're going through to the headquarters. Well, I guess to the spot that Giovanni told them that they need to go over to.
Right, they know where they're going, but we don't know where they're going at this point.
Yes. And they go down this alleyway, and from this alleyway, they sit down and they go and they find a hole to go into the sewer, and they pop open the sewer, and that's the last that we see them for a couple minutes.
Right. And then we're back in the gym for the second part of the unnecessary battle.
Yes. And what did you say that the next gym leader's name is, Doug?
The next gym leader has the water type Pokemon Pampor, and his name is Crest, like the toothpaste.
Oh, okay, Crest. So that's a good way to introduce them. All right. So we go straight into the battle, and he tells Pampor to use double team.
Well, and it should be noted that Ash wisely chooses Pikachu, and basically Iris is up in the catwalk doing backflips because he's like, he's got the advantage. He actually is trying to be smart for once.
Yes. And all of these double team attacks, Pikachu is going after one after another, but Crest is smart and tells Pampor, all right, Pampor, go and use your scratch attack, which in that time span moves all of the images of Pampor to like surround Pikachu, but only one of them scratches Pikachu because Pikachu doesn't know which one it is and just lays Pikachu on his ass.
Yeah, unfortunately, Pikachu wasn't able to focus on the right one, and yeah, like you said, got smacked a good one.
So, and Crest is very confident. He's one of the more like low key Pokemon trainers. He's very what's the word I'm looking for, Doug? Like he's very confident in himself.
He's very understated. He's very nonchalant.
Yes, there you go.
Like he's taking the battle seriously, but he's not as energetic as
the other
Chili, and he's definitely not as energetic as the grass type trainer who, of course, we'll name check in a second, but at the time it's blanking me, and I don't want to skip that far ahead to just have to skip that far back.
Okay, no problem. So, but yeah, he's congratulating Ash on his Pikachu, that his Pikachu is getting up after that attack. And he tells Pampor to use a water gun. And Pikachu dodges.
Yes. And Pikachu's getting ready to charge up and use an electric attack. But then, what does Pampor do to get out of it?
But Pampor blocks it with another water gun attack and then starts shooting the water at Pikachu's feet, not giving it enough time to charge up. And Cress is like, I saw right through your plan right there. You were going to jump up and use an electric move on my water type Pokemon, but I'm not giving you the time of day to charge up that attack.
Yeah, I really liked that strategy. It's like, I'm not going to hit you head on, but I'm going to get you in your feet and I'm going to disorient you. And Pikachu's basically on its back foot the whole time, and then gets smacked again and just
Hydro Pump.
Getting completely taken to the cleaners. And then freaking Iris is up there in the catwalk going, well, this isn't looking good.
No, not at all. So he goes, Pampor goes in for a Hydro Pump and then starts punching Pikachu like crazy. And Pikachu is just getting laid out.
Yeah.
And the cheerleaders are going nuts for him because they're like, oh my gosh, Cress is winning this battle. It's not like the last one. Let's go, Cress. Let's go, Cress. And Ash is sitting there on the podium going, come on, Pikachu, get up. Now, shouldn't Ash's Pikachu be a little bit more witty? Does it kind of bug you that it seems like Ash's Pikachu is back at level 5 again and learning how to battle inside of a gym?
Yeah, because I think we made a comment, I don't know if it was last week or, a couple weeks ago. It was probably the first couple of black and white episodes we covered. Like, I understand that Ash is basically age stuck at 10, but Pikachu doesn't just lose experience. So Pikachu should be, in its 60s if on the low end.
Yes.
So Pikachu should almost be, untouchable to an unevolved Pokemon like Pampor, who, yes, is a gym leader's Pokemon, but is still the base version.
Exactly. So it's at this time. Let's see. So Ash is telling Pikachu that the battle is not over and that Pikachu has to get up, is what he's saying.
And of course, Pikachu does get up, but then Cress tells Pampor to use Mud Sport, and Pikachu was coming to use Volt Tackle on Pampor and didn't have enough time to alter its path and is completely just stopped in its tracks and just does a faceplant in the mud. And then Crest signals for one final water gun.
And it just nails on Pikachu, and that's battle.
Yeah. Well, he tries his damnedest to get up, and he goes out and he gets the circle's eyes, and part 2 of the match is called in favor of Crest.
Yes. So, and that is the end of the second battle. I don't know. I didn't know what to make out of that, Doug. That was a weird battle.
Well, and it's funny because I'm watching this at the same time as they were getting ready for. Well, they hadn't quite gotten to the 2 out of 3 falls match in the wrestling show, but like in wrestling, if a 2 out of 3 falls match is booked, you can pretty much guarantee that they're going to 3 falls.
Yes.
And so I was sitting there and I was like, all right, either Ash wins the first battle and then has to lose the second one to set up the deciding third, or he loses the first and then has to win 2 consecutive. But then I was thinking the trainers could have been a dick if he'd have lost the first one and said, well, actually, we're reverting back to our rules. You've lost, go home. But obviously, Ash wins the first one, so you're thinking, oh boy, and then, he loses, so of course he does, because we haven't seen the grass-type Pokemon yet.
So And we're getting ready for that. But it is noted that we are only 5 minutes away from the end of this episode. So that's a little foreshadowing there. But we go straight from the last battle into the sewers with Team Rocket. And oh, I'm sorry.
No, they're they're huddled around a laptop, and they're getting marching orders once again from Giovanni.
They must have done some like praising to Giovanni, that Giovanni is trusting them with such a big task that he's trusting them with, because he's in constant communication with them.
I was going to say it's him as well. It's not like his second or third in command is giving notes from Giovanni. Like they're on a direct call with Giovanni. So
yes.
Some, like you said, some serious ass kissing must have had to have taken place.
And it's at this point right here that we have Giovanni telling Team Rocket that that there is a special energy that is revolving around this area where he had Team Rocket come over to.
And my ears kind of perked up at the mention of special energy, because obviously you've been doing the card openings.
Yes.
And all the packs start with energies. And I was like, oh, like if they start, they start leaning a little more heavy into card territory next week as well. And
I didn't catch that. You're gonna have to kind of enlighten me either off air or on the air next week when we start going over those.
But yeah, I mean, it was like little moments where I was like, oh, this shit's starting to kind of all twine together. It's interesting.
So, all right, but that's all we end up hearing from Team Rocket. He gives them their pinpoint as to where they need to go. He says, you need to investigate this for me and report back to me as to what you find. And it's at that point, Team Rocket starts running down the sewer. And I believe that's the end of Team Rocket that we see for this episode.
That's the end of Team Rocket. And for the first time in a long time that I can remember, we don't actually get any interaction between Ash and Team Rocket in this episode. Even though
hopefully that's kind of foreshadowing the future, that they don't get together and they only get together every other episode.
Yeah, because it gets to a point where it's like, okay, we're 10 minutes into the episode. We haven't seen Team Rocket yet. Oh, here comes Team Rocket, just to be dealt with in 5 minutes.
Yes.
It's like, oh, we forgot to do Team Rocket this week.
So, all right. But we go straight from that to Pikachu sitting on top of the podium. Ash is telling Pikachu, good battle. And Pikachu's kind of down. But it's now time for the third of the 3 battles.
Well, and that's the other thing about Pikachu not doing the whole Pokeball thing. Because obviously if he was a normal Pikachu, have a good rest, Pikachu. But now Pikachu's just kind of got to sit there and chew on the loss.
Yes.
While, whoever Ash throws out next has to kind of pick up his slack. And it's nothing Pikachu did.
No.
Pikachu was just caught off guard a couple times and unfortunately got the short end of the stick.
Which sucks. I mean, let's be real. I mean, it sucks. But, all right, Doug, the third and final gym leader is coming up. And do you have a name for this gym leader?
Oh, I should. I'm trying to figure if he name checks himself here. I'm trying to let this play out.
Let's see. I can look it up real quick. Let me. So we are at 1 hour and 3 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll edit this part in just a second. Best wishes, Diamond and Pearls.
He probably checks himself when he comes in. I just didn't even. And I mean, I'm talking at the beginning of the episode.
Okay, here we go. Triple leader right here. There we go. Bum, bum, bum.
Good Lord.
I can't. I don't see it. Oh, shit. Why did I do that? I fucking closed the damn tab I was on.
Cilan.
Who?
Hold on. Cilan.
Cilan?
Cilan.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So, yes, Cilan is his name, everybody. So that is the next Pokemon. That's the next Pokemon gym leader that we're about to add into this mix. And of course, he has Pansage.
And Pansage straight up has a stalk of broccoli on its head, and I won't hear anything different.
It helps because when Ash was doing his whole Dexter thing, we find out that Pansage uses that leaf to help give nutrients to other Pokemon that are out there.
I did. Some of these Dexter things I do enjoy.
Yes, because it tells what certain specific parts of Pokemon are. So we go straight into this battle. Ash chooses Oshawott. Is dumb.
Yes.
Dumb. Like all of these Pokemon should have been switched around. But he chooses Oshawott, who is weak against grass-type Pokemon. Let's just point that out there. Right.
And I feel like Oshawott knows it, because as soon as he's confronted with Pansage, he cowers out. He cowers behind, like, because we see him making a mean face of like, we get a wide shot and we find out he's doing it behind Ash's leg.
Yes.
And Pikachu and Ash basically have to push him to the center of the ring.
And Ash has to remind Oshawott that Oshawott's tough, and that when things get tough, Oshawott is a good Pokemon to go out there and get the job done, basically pumping him up for this battle. And Oshawott gets all pumped up, and it's at this time he's like, all right, go out there and let's get ready to battle. And Oshawott goes out there to go and what move is it? It looks like he goes in to tackle Pansage, and as soon as he's going to tackle Pansage is like 3 times faster than him, dodges around him. Oshawott is looking to find out what the hell just happened, and Pansage goes over there and does Bullet Seed immediately. And
poor Oshawott, for lack of a better term, just get shot in the ass.
Yes.
And
felt bad for Oshawott.
Just, completely on the back foot right away. And freaking Iris is up there going, well, obviously Oshawott's bark is worse than its bite. Hey, shut up.
Yeah, shut up. And freaking Oshawott gets a close-up of him like laying down with his butt hurt because they have a red little beam on his butt going, ow, that hurt.
And then dude basically Cilan calls Ash immature, which of course we know is like Ash's trigger word. And
he tells Oshawott to start using water gun. And this is the downfall of this episode right here. I felt so bad, but I kind of felt like Ash was being a dick, but he kind of had to be to toughen up Oshawott a little bit. Oshawott starts spitting out water gun all over the place, and Pansage is dodging it like he's dodging anything.
Not even breaking a sweat.
Yeah, just jumping. And then Ash looks at him and he goes, Oshawott, you need to aim better. So Oshawott is looking out of breath.
I'd have turned around and said, fuck you.
Yeah, I would have spit fucking water over at Ash. But it's at this point Oshawott is like, all right, I'll try it again, and tries to go in and do water gun again. Pansage does the same thing that it was doing before. Just jump, 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 jump.
And then Ash is basically like, all right, quit screwing around. One more shot. And then, of course, this shot hits him.
Yes.
And
Oshawott looks like he's like...
Oshawott looks like he's goddamn Goldberg. Like, he literally has smoke coming out of his nose. He's like, that's right. That's what I thought was going to happen. But unfortunately, it doesn't really face Pan Sage too much. If anything, it pisses him off a little bit. And then we get told that Pan Sage is about to use Solar Beam, which is a key factor as to why the opening of the gym on the top has a solar panel, basically. Yeah, and this is wrapping up to be the end of the episode because we're led to believe, and we're somewhat familiar with Solar Beam from the first couple seasons. We're led to believe that Pan Sage's Solar Beam is about to be the knockout blow. And Pan Sage fires the Solar Beam, and we get like, we see like Oshawott's eyes become all white, and he's like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And I haven't lived that much of a life. And then... And then we get the narrators coming in, so we know the episode's about to end. And
will this battle come to a concluding ending on next week's episode? You have to wait and find out.
Like, I mean, we're talking about freaking Pikachu on the edge of the cliff above the lava pit again.
Yes.
So yeah, that's it. We're left with a cliffhanger, and much like the actual airing of the TV show, everybody listening
next week.
Absolutely has to hit that download button next week, or hit it now if you're on our Patreon account.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're listening to this on the free feed, go over to our Patreon account and you can listen to next week's episode right now, because that's the latest episode.
Well, not right now.
Well, they can.
I mean, they got to finish this.
True. They haven't even listened to me opening my Pokemon pack yet.
This is true.
So, all right. Well, that's this week's episode. It's time for the Pokemon pack, as I just alluded to, everybody. So I have the pack right here. And let's go ahead and open this. All right, let's pull these cards out. All right, I can already tell this is going to be a dud deck because I got the dud.
Damn.
Well, they give out different Pokemon trainer card codes, and today's code is a black code. Which,
you never want black.
Shut up. Today's code is a black card, which means that there's nothing like super, super rare in this pack. The ones that have the white card, you have a better chance at. And so let's go ahead and see what they have. I put the four things at the bottom. Doug, what energy am I about to look at?
I'm going to go, and obviously the packs you pull have no basis in the episode. Based on the fact that they mentioned sleep energy in the episode, I'm going to say sleep.
No, shit. You should have went with the last Pokemon that we saw. Because I have a leaf green energy.
Damn.
So I have a green energy. I have a Drizzle, a Peony trainer card, a Caitlyn trainer card, a Hacienda, Aeron, Ralts, Venipede, Bounsweet, a Lucky Energy. So it wasn't at the bottom, but that energy card is my reverse holo. It says if this card is attached to is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack of your opponent's Pokemon, even if it's knocked out, draw a card. And then my rare card is a non-holographic Wheezing, everybody. So yes, a dud pack.
That sucks. Just immediately, you're like, oh, fuck.
As soon as I opened the pack and I saw the trainer card, I was like, well, shit. So let's hope next week is a little better. I have that pack sitting in front of me, and we're getting ready to go over this next Pokemon battle and get on into this next episode. So, Dougie, man, do you have anything else to add to this week's episode?
I enjoyed the episode in terms
what do you rate it? Sorry.
I would say like a 3.5, probably.
Yeah, I was about to say I'll give it about a 3. Great battle, great progression. We didn't get the concluding to the battle. I felt like knowing next week's episode and how short of a battle that we're going to have next week as opposed to the rest of the episode, they could have easily finished this gym battle this week.
Yes.
But they did not. And with that being said, I'm going to give it a 3 this week. So
that's fair. I mean, there's you watch enough of this stuff, you learn that there's a range, and like you can kind of tell, and it's like, yeah, it's 3.5. I don't know what it would have taken to get to 4, but you know.
Well, what would have taken for me would be the concluding battle, and then have your cliffhanger be the Team Rocket thing with them running down the sewer. They could have put that at the end of the episode, and nobody would have noticed anything.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I like that.
They could have ended with Team Rocket running down the sewer, but that's neither here nor there. That's how I would have booked this episode. So
I would accept that.
All right. So anything else, Doug, to add?
No, I would say I had more fun reviewing the episode than watching it, which, you know, I mean, it was a good episode, but I feel like I got more out of reviewing it than I did actually watching it, so.
Yes. So, all right, everybody. Well, with that being said, say goodbye, Doug.
Goodbye, Doug.
And this is Wrestling Chris G telling all of you, don't miss next week's episode. It's called Dreams by the Yardful. And it's a hunker of an episode. So a really nice progression. And it's not a filler, everybody. So make sure to listen next week. Have a good night, everyone.